Hey girl.
Hey child.
I'm Brock.
I'm Rafiq.
And this is
Conversippin.
Woo woo!
Hey,
we are here. We're here for you. I hope you're out there for us. So today we're going to talk about expectations.
What do you expect in life, in relationships, in your job, in your home,
in the bedroom, like
ooh, in the bedroom,
like all these places, because there are expectations in everything that you do. There's so many expectations, like you said. There's expectations in your job, your relationship, your friendship, and expectations in wine. Each week we taste it, we smell it. We might enjoy it, we might not. It helps. I feel like that TikTok where the woman just pours and pours and pours because she's like, my kids won't shut up. But anyways, so
I okay. TSI. I would say that expectations broadly. Expectations are your perception of an outcome that you have 10% of the information for about. So, in roommates in life in general, your expectation is tends to be either one or two things. It's either your greatest fear or it's your greatest fantasy. And the conflict that arises is when reality is not that. And then what do you do with it?
Yeah. I mean, there's an example being, I go on a first date with someone that I've talked to online, and I expect them to be the same in person that they are online. We meet up, drastically different. I don't know what happened. How did this translate into this? I don't understand. So my expectations were set by previous things that I've talked about with said person.
Yeah.
And I expect them to be the same way in person.
Yeah, and I guess the question becomes, how do we discern, what's that word? How do we discern your expectation from what will happen? Because a lot of times we make predictions and we make contingencies based on our expectations. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we have one of two, right? So we have a worst case scenario and best case scenario, mm-hmm. which is generally all like fancified and all of our like hopes and aspirations.
What do you inspire?
Oh, yeah, it is always our fantasy, right? Like, I want him to be, using the example of first dates, right? Like, I want him to be, like, into me and intuitive, and he'll pick up the bill.
Well, yeah, but it could go the other way, too. It's like that he really is into me, but he's literally not the same person that I expected him to be.
Or his conversation isn't natural per se.
Forced.
Yeah, like maybe I have to force him into. I have to lead the conversation, and I don't know how many people like doing that. I hate doing that.
I don't like leading the conversation.
I don't like leading.
I do like leading a group of people, but not a one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, I kind of want you to just take charge and.
Yeah, I mean, I want us to be able to bounce off each other naturally. Like, I don't want there to be dead silence.
But that starts with you broaching this first topic. Yeah. Here's what I've been wanting to talk about. Mm-hmm. And then that leads into us talking about a number of things. The Pythagorean theorem, per se.
Yeah. How much money you have in your bank account.
And you know what your credit score is.
I mean, all those things are very important.
Yeah, very, very important.
But no, so another example is, at work, I expect my leadership to guide me in the right direction if I ask for help. I don't need, and then I'm like, that's what I expect of a leader at work.
Yeah.
And then I go and ask a question and be like, figure it out.
And what do you do?
I'll be like, that's not what I was expecting. So, but we all have our own ways of handling expectations. That's the other thing. We all have our, way of handling it.
Yeah.
I think I typically handle most things not as dramatic as personal things. If it's business, I got my stuff under control. Like, I'm very, very cool. I'm very calm about things. I get my stuff done, and it may take me a little bit longer if I don't know what I'm doing. But I figure it out, and then I do it. But when it comes to personal expectations of people or things or adventures that I'm on, I take them a little bit too hard. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. And I tend to over dramatize.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I do the same thing, and I wonder if it's because work typically is unpredictable. Well, depending on what your work is.
Yeah.
Right? So, work is typically unpredictable and spontaneous, and my line of work very illogical at times. And so maybe I've become accustomed to that, and integrating that into my forward expectations of things. I always expect them to come up with something crazy, and so I'm always prepared for that. But in my personal world, I feel like I am harder hit by things that are not what I expected them to be.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we put too much weight on our expectation versus reality. Because really, if we looked at the reality of your expectation is based off of your perception of the individual.
Mm-hmm.
And who really knows if our perception aligns with the individual? Well, 9 times out of 10, individuals don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And so
that's true.
I wonder if it's just maybe it's a human thing. Like, maybe I am prepping myself for past trauma.
Okay.
That I've experienced.
So we're saying past experiences with things in life has guided us to expect things differently with a new individual that we may encounter, or a new experience that we'll encounter.
Right.
That we encounter.
And I wonder if our fears are based on the same thing.
Oh my gosh, this is getting so deep.
I didn't know, but it makes sense though.
It does.
Trauma. So I think trauma is a very big part of everyone's cognitive growth and their physical growth. I think trauma is a very big part of your personality. But the question becomes, is it such a big part of your personality, of your being, that your forward view is based off of that traumatic experience?
Yeah.
For those that remember. So burying people that have certain dissociative properties. And they are there because the trauma is so big that they can't cope or rationalize. But those that have rationalized the trauma, have we pushed it forward and based our interactions, our experiences off of that trauma? That's deep. It's deep. I like it.
What do you guys think? I mean, honestly, I'm sure you all have an opinion on how you handle different expectations that you have come across in your life. I mean, I like your point of view of how you looked at it, and I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, see?
So I'm handling this expectation of this conversation in, I think, a great manner. And, it's just so crazy how these things all intertwine with each other. With your past experiences, your trauma that you mentioned of, and all these things, they all go together. Every bit of every day puts you in whatever mood, position you're in, and everywhere you are in life. So that, God, mind blown. I love it. Thank you so much, Cameron Smith, for giving us that topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Topic.
So what?
Our topic, because it's a great one. In fact, we love it. So thank you, Cameron.
Yeah. Cheers to you. So, here's my question to everyone in response to the comments. Have you have you reacted off of a situation, and I like your first date because I feel like it's very relevant. Have you reacted to someone that you've been on a date with based purely off of the denial, well, not the denial, but maybe the non-validation of your expectation? So I expected him to be this Prince Charming, this like person that will get me and really feed into my insecurities and guard me, but then I am at the actual date, I am working more than I thought I should.
Yeah.
Or I am not being validated.
Yeah. So the question is, simplify that question for everyone.
So the question is, have you ever judged someone based off of your perception of how much you should have been treated?
Okay. I like that question.
Right, because that's like an expectation, right? So
It is.
Your expectation.
You're expected to be treated.
You know, depending on context. Let's give context. So context is like your online conversation has been very good.
Oh, great.
And he's been like very quick to respond, and his responses always happen with a question, but a lot of time that could be learned behavior, and he just communicates better in writing.
Via text.
And
I've been that
person. Yeah.
I've been that person.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend many years ago. Yes, many years ago I had a girlfriend.
Like an actual.
Yes.
Like a sister.
This girl.
Okay.
We were in youth group together at church in South Carolina.
Personally.
We saw each other weekly, and we went on this youth excursion at this place, and we just started liking each other. No. To a place. It was like a camp. Anyways, a day camp. And we went there, and we had an amazing time. We just started talking to each other via instant messenger.
AOL.
Yes, it was.
We're old bitches. I'm 25 now.
And Yahoo. I know. And Yahoo. That's where we talk. And it was a great conversation. We would even send each other emails. And then she went away to camp over the summer, and she wrote me letters. And I wrote her letters. And we talked. And we'd talk on the phone for hours at my grandma's house. And when I was there for the summer, she was at camp during the summer. It was great. Loved it. But anytime we were at youth group together, we barely spoke to each other. I kid you not. It was like, but as soon as we left youth group and like got home and got on Messenger, it was like conversation flowing. I don't know what it was about. I mean, now it makes sense because I'm gay, and I'm sure I just didn't want to have that connection with her in person. But that's how it happened. And I feel like I'm that way sometimes. I feel like I'm less nervous talking to you via online than I am in person.
Yeah.
So I'm sure people expect more of me than meets the eye when I meet them. But once you get past my nervousness, the first 30 minutes, like, I'm good. Give me that chance.
I wonder, does that frame your expectation for first meetings going forward? Like, do you... this is good. Stay with me. I might blush it. Do you expect yourself to be nervous? And then, therefore, follow through with the nervousness.
So, like, I make it happen because I've already had that thought process.
Yeah.
I've expected myself to be
Does it become a self-fulfilling prophecy? Does your expectation become your perceived reality, therefore becoming your reality?
It does. Because I'm a firm believer in speaking what you want to happen in existence and thinking about the things that you want to happen and they happen. I'm very firm in that thought process. So I'm pretty sure you are correct on how I make myself nervous going into a first date. Now, I would like to come back with, if I take a few shots before a date, I'm not like that.
Well, you know how I feel about spirits. I think they're the lovely equalizer of the world.
Yes. So I'll take a couple shots. So that means I'm Ubering to my date. And I will, because you gotta be safety first, and I will be more comfortable with who I am with them, and it becomes more natural. But then it ends up being me talking a lot. So then I become overconfident in the situation.
Well, I don't know about overconfident, but maybe you become overcompensating.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Maybe you're overconfident.
I'm either less than or more than.
This might be like a breakthrough, guys. Okay, wait. So once you're confronted with reality versus your expectation, maybe you overcompensate because your expectation has failed, and in order to keep yourself comfortable, because you are centered in your being and your past experiences and your expectation, you are comfortable with. And so maybe in order to keep that level of that level of comfortability, you overcompensate. Or you overcompensate with the conversation. All right, so then I challenge...
It's death of me having a boyfriend.
I challenge each of you to look at your reaction. So think about the past reaction and look at it and really question, is my reaction a result of what happened? Or is my reaction a result of me being uncomfortable that my expectation was not met? And I am compensating one way or the other to make that expectation. That's groundbreaking. I should be a psychologist.
That's Guys, that's some real talk right there. Think about it.
We're going to put my PayPal in the comment section, and we'll do like virtual...
Can we do like Venmo?
No, we can do Venmo. We'll do like virtual therapy sessions. Like, I'm here for the people.
Yes, all of that. Yes.
And this is... I'm not sober.